So these are 6 project manager myths that I wanted to share with you. Basically, ways of thinking, ways I used to think when delivering complex projects that got me into hot water, and in hindsight made it more difficult for me than it should have done, really, and led to unsuccessful outcomes, which is not what we want. So I guess it's a bit like lessons learned, but ways I used to think that didn't lead to good outcomes. And I want to share this with you to basically say, if you also resonate with any of these statements and say, yeah, I actually do that, what's wrong with that? Here's my view on whether that's right, wrong, or not ideal, and what might be better, and also what's critically wrong with it. What is the consequence of thinking like that? Let's just dive straight into it, and you can tell me whether you think it's useful or not. Hopefully it will be. So, number 1, if I just do the work, I'll get the credit I deserve. This is horrendous, isn't it? If only the world worked like this. Now, I know a lot of people who think like this, and you're right, it should be like that. It should be like that. If you're anything like me, you're hardworking, you know what good looks like, you do the work, and you should be credited. But it doesn't work like that. I'm not going to spend too long on this one, because I think most people actually know this deep down. And in fact, what we get taught at Accenture from day one is perception is everything. It's what people think that is important. So I'm not going to spend any longer on that one. If people want to go into deep dive into this one, let me know. We can do that. But I'm gonna move on, because I think this one is generally understood. Number 2, I shouldn't challenge or question my bosses, even when they seem wrong or short-sighted. This is wrong as well. I see why people do this. I used to do this. Your bosses, they're there to be respected. They have got where they are for a reason. Now, all of that is true, but I'm particularly talking about here bosses who they just don't really reach out for your opinion. You're there to do the work. They're the boss. They know everything, and they're sharing that knowledge with you. Now, here's the thing with these kind of people. They actually do need your input. But the problem is they'll never ask for it. Why? Because they're the ego-driven maniac bosses that they are. They're the boss. They know everything. They're hiring you. You're the help. Yeah. So, but the weird thing is they actually do need your input. So you do have to actually subtly get it across in that meeting, in that first briefing. That's how you go about that. Get them in quick. Get any questions you've got in, get any concerns that you've got, get it out there. If you don't get the right feedback that you're expecting, fine. Your feedback, your concerns are acknowledged. The thing is, if you don't do this and you just carry on in doing the task and turn up with it tomorrow and then raise your questions, you'll be faced with, oh, well, why didn't you bring that up in the first place? Right? That's what we want to avoid. If that's ever happened to you, this is how you solve it. Okay. Number 3, quality work tomorrow is better than a quick response today. Now, this is risky. The risk is, and if you're anything like me, then quality is massively important to you. I'm big into that. And I'm sure you are too. The risk is, by taking away the work, doing quality, and coming back the next day, is that you get 0 credit from it. Compare that to, and I had a guy like this, always coming up with solutions within a minute. Just, oh, yeah, I get it. I'm going to do this. This is what we should do. Half the time talking complete nonsense, to be honest. I hated it. But guess what happened? He got the confidence of the boss. He ran away, did something, and then came back with something and got all the credit. In the meantime, I was there busy working out the best solution and spending a lot of time and then coming back, but I'd lost it already. He'd won it within the first couple of minutes. Yeah. And there's something about committing here and connecting with the boss and giving a good answer pretty quickly on the spot if you can, or within the next 5 minutes. That's absolutely key. and I actually learned this from that guy, from that very situation. That's a good one. Okay, let's keep going. Number 4, I shouldn't complain or spend any effort making it known whose fault an issue was. I should just fix the problem. This is another good one, because it's, yes, you should fix the problem, 100%. We're problem solvers, we're solutions focused, we fix the problem. This is fine. The problem with just doing that, though, and not getting to the underlying root cause of the issue, is that nothing will change. Whoever it is, however this problem is arising, is being caused, will just keep happening. And guess what happens if you just keep fixing problems and not addressing the issue? The issues keep happening, and you keep getting them. This is the problem. So for the first couple of times, it could be fine. Oh, this has happened. And George fixed it. Brilliant. But things get boring when you just end up fixing crappy problems all the time, and you become known for that, and nothing changes. And this is the problem. So your boss does need to know whose fault it is. I'm really sorry, but he does. You have to be subtle about it. Nobody likes stitching somebody up or being snitched on or any of that business. But and do it with humor. I find humor works. Oh, that's weird. Who did that? Or well, it wasn't me. I don't know anything about that. It wasn't me. I know that much. I did this. That is actually one of the best ways. You have to try things. Try what works. I know it's tough, challenging your boss. I know it isn't, but try something. Do something, basically. Get your views out there before you start fixing anything. Give him something to think about. Try something. All right. Number 5. I trust my boss to do the right thing and support me. Oh, come on. Oh, this is horrible. This is wrong again. We can't. Wrong. Okay. Unless you've got a super nice boss, even if you've got a super nice boss, when push comes to shove, and there are redundancies coming, or promotions either happening or not happening, pay rises either not happening or happening, the people just look out for number 1, man. They could be your best friend. They're looking out for number 1. When push comes to shove, people look out for number 1. That's it. That is the brutal truth. Okay. Why would you do this? Like I've said here, who is the single? And I know it would be lovely to trust someone at work, but when push comes to shove, it doesn't happen. People look out for number 1. That's it. Who is the single person you can trust with your career? I need the answer to come from you. I'd like the answer to come from you. Who is it? It's you. It is you. That's right. You're right. It's you. That's why we're doing this stuff. It's brutal, but you can't trust anybody. It's just you. That's it. You can drive your own career. You should drive your own career. That's it. And lastly, if I just focus on the big issues, I'll be fine. I'll not spend too much time here, but you got to listen to the quiet ones. You could be managing the most complex project, dealing with all the biggest issues, and then something comes and grabs you and bites you on the butt that you weren't looking out for. You got to look after them all. Key question here you got to ask yourself is, who can hurt me? Program manager asked me that once, and I'll never forget it. It was helpful because I wasn't paying attention. The quiet guy in the corner, not making much noise, came back and bit me. He didn't, because we nipped it in the bud quick. But if you're out on your own, like I know many of you guys are, it's the quiet ones. Keep an eye on the quiet ones. Look out for them. That's it. That's the 1 to 6. Hopefully you found that helpful. Let me know in the comments, and particularly let me know if you want me to deep dive into any one of these areas. We can do that. All right. Cheers.